Welcome back to Living Local. How many times have you painted a room in your house only to find out the color looks totally different at home than on that color swatch at the store? Well, our next guest is an expert when it comes to color and lighting. She is a color curator, helping buyers and sellers pick the best colors for their homes. And joining us is Mary Stringer, color specialist and design consultant. Mary, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for being here.
Oh, thank you for inviting me.
So give us some background on yourself and how you became a color specialist and a design consultant.
Well, it's an evolutionary thing. I originally started out, I was an art teacher, graduated from Iowa State University and taught in the Ames Community Schools. And I moved to the Quad Cities and went to work at a place called the Paper and Paint Shop in Bettendorf.
Okay.
And Marie Johnson was the owner, and I worked for her for 6 years, and then I opened my own store in Bluegrass called the Paperworks in 1980 and had the store till 87. Then we adopted 2 children, and so I was going to close everything, and people kept calling, so I went to work as a freelancer and freelanced until I got a job at Sherwin-Williams at one point as their head designer, and I was there for 14 years.
Wow.
And then I started freelancing again after I retired like 6 years ago. So
quite the background.
I've dealt with color all my life, and it's a passion.
Okay.
I love it.
So talk to us about how you help homeowners when they are trying to pick out paint colors, because there's always so many to choose from. Look at all of these.
Yes, there are. Well, the first thing I do is I'm invited to their home. So you can deal with people outside of that, but to actually see where a person lives and to see their colors and who they are, that is an advantage. So I go out and just kind of get myself comforted in what they have. So I look at what their existing floors are. If they're going to change, I suggest that they bring in what they're going to have new, whether it's a carpet sample or a fabric sample or something that they're dealing with, because it's bad if you don't have something to go with.
Right.
So if it's going to be existing what they've got now, we just work with what they've got, and I look at things and try to make it contemporary for what's current right now.
Right, and we're going to get to that in just a second, but what would you say is the biggest mistake people make when picking out colors for their home?
Well, I think it more attributes than even mistaking the color is the light source.
Yes, that's a big thing.
Oh my gosh, it's really bad right now because people are using those white light bulbs that everything looks blue-white, kind of like the street lights do, and everything looks lavender and purple.
Yes.
And even though it's a beige or something that's a neutral, it can come off really bad. So we have, Sherwin has them, and other people do. Sherwin-Williams has like paint samples that can be stuck on the wall. They also have sample quartz where you can get a quart made of a paint.
Yes.
And literally, I would not paint it on the wall. I'd paint it on a piece of mason or a board or something, and so you can move it around and see it. And so that also influences it. But otherwise, picking color, there are tendencies of color that people like to go toward. One of the things, it's kind of evolutionary. When I first started out, I remember carpeting being, every room was a different color. Okay, so then they went to all one color. For one reason, it was more reasonable. For another, it opened up the house so it wasn't chopped up. Now the thing we deal with is houses are so open that everything's open to each other. So there's not an isolated area.
Right.
You know, the foyer opens up to the living room, to the kitchen. Yeah. And people are doing like a color. People are picking like one neutral color and doing that, which I see a lot of right now. And some in new construction are doing everything one color.
Right.
All the bedrooms, everything. So which is okay. And that tendency is almost to a white, like a neutral white. Yes. Or a neutral lighter color, so that it doesn't close things in.
And room size, that can make a big difference and impact the color too, because this, once you get this into a small room, it looks different than what it would in a larger room, right?
And if you were to do something this dark, the thing is that I suggest to people when we're looking at colors is if they want to do something a little bit more flamboyant, let's do it in the bathroom. Let's do it in a room that people visit. and that you can, you know, and then bring the pillows out or the accessories or furniture out into the house that, you know, can use those colors too.
Okay, so what if someone is thinking about changing their paint colors in their home, but maybe planning to update their furniture a little bit down the road? What do you recommend?
Well, the first thing I'd suggest to them is to go out and look at things. Go look at fabrics, go look at flooring, go look at things that they might be interested in, so
Down
they
the
have a
road.
direction they want to go.
Gotcha.
Because personally, you don't want to decorate so foreign to what you've got, because it won't look good unless you're going to do it within a logical amount of time.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, don't decorate for somebody else.
Okay.
When you're buying a house or you're going to sell a house, they neutralize things. But when you're living in a house, design it for yourself.
Right.
Not
because your
for-
favorite color might be yellow, but
and it
most
won't
people
be the
won't.
guy that's the person buying it's probably going to change it anyway. So
Yes,
you
yes.
know, enjoy your own home.
What about staying on trend? Because like right now, black is really hot, right? The color black.
Black, neutrals, grays. Grays are still in. I know they say they're going, but
You're
and-
still
and
seeing lots of
soft
grays.
taupes, yes, you know, I just really think it's what you like to be around.
Okay.
You know, you try to look at a person's personality and what they've got. A lot of times, if they're keeping their accessories, like things they're working around, paintings, artwork, wood tones, those things all go into influencing color.
Okay. Now, what's the process? If someone is thinking about, you know, changing their paint colors, they want to contact you,
Okay.
they need some help with this, what's the process?
Okay, because I'm semi-retired, I work out of my home, and so what they do is I'll get a phone call. And I'll say, hi, you know, a painter recommended me, or a friend they had before, or they've heard about me. So they'll call and they'll ask if I can come out and help them. I say, yeah, I'd be happy to. And so I'll set up an appointment within usually that week or the next week, because I'm not as busy as I used to be.
Right.
And so then I charge $100 to come out, and it's for everything. Unless they were like 8 years away and
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, 8 hours away, then that would be different. But I go out to the home and I visit with them, and I start looking around and talk about what they're interested in or what, and then I make suggestions. And I'll make suggestions for paint as well as other things in the home.
Okay.
Because everything affects everything. So whether it's the flooring or, you know, if something looks older and they need to change it, I make suggestions. It's up to them whether they want to do it or not. But I'll do a color palette, and I'll suggest, and I'll tell them what I'm working on, and then I'll go back to my home and use color chips, type it up per room where it's going, and I give them a copy, one for a painter if they have a painter, and then I keep a copy for references.
So organized too.
Well,
but it can
you
make
know,
a huge difference.
after all these years, it just kind of happens, you know.
Yes,
But
yes.
but I love color.
Yeah.
And color, wallpaper was also a big thing in my life. But color is something that will radically change a house, a
Yeah,
feeling
for
of it,
sure.
you know. And
Yeah.
it's whether you do it yourself or you have a professional do it.
Yeah. Well, I think it's money well spent for sure. Mary, I want to thank you so much for coming in.
Thank
It
you
has
for
been a
having
pleasure
me.
talking to
Thank you. Good luck to everybody.
Yes, and if you would like Mary to help you with some colors for your home, you can contact her at the number on your screen, 563-210-4884, and we'll also have all those details posted on ourquadcities.com.